A year later, I was down in West Phoenix at Skyway Baptist Church. And there were about 250 people there that night, and I had been asked to preach an evangelistic sermon. Baptists love evangelistic sermons, and so do I. And so I was about 15 minutes into preaching this evangelistic sermon. My mind was nowhere on anything of the accident or anything about heaven. It was regarding souls. And I was preaching away when all of a sudden it was as though the Lord, I sensed His presence coming real close and real strong. I kind of paused like this, and it was like the Lord just nudged up beside me and whispered in my ear these words. He said, I thought I might just let you pass through the heavens and show them to you before I roll them up as a scroll and toss them aside. When He spoke that to me right in front of those dear Baptist people, I got emotional. The tears, I couldn't hold them. They just shot out. I couldn't talk, believe it or not. I couldn't. I was crying so hard, all I could say is, I'm sorry, leaning against the podium. I'm sorry, and I was sobbing. And as I started to say, I'm sorry, I saw this vision. And in the vision, I saw myself as a 7-year-old little boy, back when I was 7 years old, had been in the Sunday school class. This literally happened to me. And the Sunday school teacher had taught on those very scriptures about how Jesus, how the Lord, she used Jesus, how He formed the worlds by the works of His fingers and tossed them out there, the works of His hands, into the heavens. And the day is coming when He will roll them up as a scroll and toss them aside and create a whole new heaven and new earth. And what I did back in those days, that so shook me and so stirred me. Now, only the Father understands these things. He knew the day was coming that He would fulfill this petition. I came home from Sunday school and church that afternoon, and Mother was preparing dinner. I got dressed in my little cutoffs and went out in my play clothes there in Arizona and went out to play. But my brothers and sister went out to play too, but I really wasn't wanting to play. I wanted to get away and alone by myself. I just wanted to tuck away somewhere where none of the family would see me. There were too many of us boys in the bedroom. I couldn't do it there. So I went outside in the backyard, crawled down in the gravel underneath Dad's camping trailer, crawled under it and propped my elbows up on the axle, back in behind the big wheel of the camping trailer where nobody would see me, and I, propping my elbows on this axle, I was praying these words. Dear Jesus, when you roll the heavens up and toss them aside, can I be beside you and see how you do it? And can I stay beside you and watch you make new heaven and a new earth and put them in place? I would like to see you throw them out there and see how they stay. And the vision He showed me was exactly that. In the vision, it was so real, I could feel the gravel on my knees. I could feel the elbows touching the axle and myself crouching down. I could hear my little 7-year-old voice bringing that petition before the Lord. And I'll tell you, that really made me break. I stood there and I couldn't say a word. I just cried and cried and cried. Pretty soon, people all over the congregation started crying. I wasn't preaching anything, but they were crying. The next thing I knew, through my tears, they started running forward, and the altar was full of people, and they were crying. Some were repenting, some were rejoicing. Some were saying, I want to know Jesus better, I want to know you better. And they were getting close to Jesus. About 2 hours later, I finally was able to just explain to them what had happened. And then I finished in prayer, and some hands went up and said, could I say something? And one after the other said that they too the reason they ran to the altar, they felt like Jesus came in the door and sit down and snuggled up beside them. And they just felt so loved and the presence of the Lord so precious. Well, that was a precious experience. And it gave me a better understanding why the Lord allowed me to pass through the heavens so that He could show them to me before He rolls them up as a scroll. Because He's going to do that one day. And they're getting old now, and we're hearing all kinds of reports about fragmentations of their falling apart, hitting us here on the earth and all kinds of things. Well, don't worry. Nowhere in the Scripture does it say that He's going to destroy the earth with an asteroid.